How you doing? How you doing? It's another day. It's another stream. Now, technically, it's the same day, but it's not the same stream. It's the same day, another stream. I don't like to make it that way. It's not orderly. You know what I'm saying? I don't approve of it. I don't like it. All right. So today things are gonna be just a little bit different because if anyone hears knows me, anybody hears me talk, anybody who's heard me communicate in any way knows I know about political things. I like to talk about political things, especially in my private life, but I don't necessarily make my content about the fact that I could be talking about these political things. But I want to try it. Today I'm gonna take a shot at it. Today I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about, a little bit, get a little political, in a good way, in a good way. So let's get this shit started. We're gonna get this shit started. And so what this is gonna go over now, this is something probably a lot of people have already heard about, but they haven't heard my perspective on it. Hey, what's going on, Drip Drop? Oh, ads, you got it. I'll wait anyway. This doesn't matter. The video people will see this on YouTube as well. So anyway, probably you've already seen this, but you haven't heard about my particular opinion on this, and so I will be giving that now. As a background, I have tried to start 2 unions in my previous jobs. I was successful in cooperating and getting a union. It not necessarily started as much as getting people in active roles who are actually going to perform a job so that we can accomplish goals for the sake of the benefit of the worker. So I'm also a communist, Marxist, communist, little difference. And so that is the perspective. All right, welcome back. So now I'll get started with the normal video. I just gave my background because this one's going to be a YouTube video. This one's going to be a YouTube rant. It'll probably not even be edited. It's just, straight up. So a lot of people who do know me politically know that I'm very left-leaning. I'm Marxist. But I don't really talk about, like a little political background, a little work background so people understood where I come from. Nah, I'm not Dominican, brother. I'm not Dominican. That's not true. I'm not Dominican. I'm not Dominican. I'm black. I'm not Dominican. Nah, I'm Peruvian. But anyway, right? So I just wanted to give my take on the Asian guy who decided to tell people, "Yeah, very Peruvian, my friend." But I want to talk about this Asian guy who challenged the black community to a boycott, and I wanted to talk about how at least the online space, right? The black online space has moved right towards action, towards a real boycott that is actively in place, right? And I participate in that boycott, right? You can ask anybody. I go to the Korean barbecue as often as I legally can be, right? As much Korean barbecue as I can eat that won't kill me, I am willing to consume. I won't go no more, right? And the reality is that there is solidarity within the black community in the United States. A lot of people, a lot of white people especially, not that that's important, but it's a lot of Latino people too. That's why I wanted to talk about this. But a lot of people don't understand the solidarity of the black community because they've never been a part of a black community, right? I was always left-leaning political, but my eyes changed when I went to the hood because I learned that there was nothing that unified me more with a group of people as a community than living amongst people who were downtrodden, right? Living amongst people who did not have and had to make do with people who were oppressed by the system inherently, right? And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the fact that I moved out on my own to go to the hood because that changed my perspective on life in a way that was positive. Now I already had the right kind of perspective, but I did not have the real understanding because I wasn't there, right? But being there, that helped, that changed things, right? Anyway, so I'm gonna watch this.
Community said, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout.
We'll go back.
Community said, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas. Community says, let's.
Sorry about that. All right, so just right off the bat, right? He talks about a lot of shit. Now, outside of the Hondas, right? Because listen here, we're not building cars. Nobody's gonna be building cars. That's not happening. He's tripping. You can get all of these things otherwise.
Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners.
Okay, I could just make Chinese food. Fuck you talking about? I could just make Chinese food. What are you talking about? I made Chinese tiger eggs this morning, brother. I had a live stream and I ate Chinese tiger eggs this very morning. There's nothing that really and this is something that like a lot of communities misunderstand, right? They believe that all of the success they have as a community, as a society, is solely due to their like actions, right? Like I did X, Y, and Z, so I was rewarded because I earned it. What they don't realize is that there are systems in place, right? Things, laws that were, especially in this country, laws that were passed that defined, court cases that define what is and is not legal, where people will go, and what they will do, right? And something that people misunderstand is that black people are very well educated on these things, right? There's a stereotype that they're not educated. This is not the case. Black people are very well educated on certain subjects, right? Like history, right? Motherfuckers act like that doesn't matter. History is very important. And so, the black community is very aware that the only reason that the Asian community was allowed to do business was because they were doing it in black society. They had to go to the hood. They had to go to the black areas, right? And they took for granted what they thought was their success and their cunning and their guile or whatever the fuck it is, thinking that they were pulling the wool over the eyes of the black community, right? They were taking advantage of them from their perspective and that they were just ignorant. When in reality, right, these black people chose to allow these Asian people to be part of their community. Right, I will read this now. Lord Drop says, for the United States, the whole reason they have a lot of these different businesses is dead ass because the ones they engage in were seen as lesser. And then to take that step further, they had to be in black communities, like you said. They were able to get loans and such, but only if it was away from white people. Exactly. They didn't have these rights, right? And this is the thing. Asian people think, well, I get good grades, right? I benefit from the system. That means I worked harder. What they don't realize is, like, I'm not trying to get racist, right? I'm trying to be dead ass here. In the schools I went to, the Asian people had a circle where they all cooperated to do better, right? They do this and they don't realize that's not the same. If you're playing Street Fighter and you got 6 different people passing the controller around per round, you are not fighting against one person. This is an unfair match, right? So if you go to school and people make sure they all pass by cheating, I knew for a fact these people were rotating who did the homework, right? And then the rest of them will fill it in. They use cooperation, which is guile, right? Like, oh, kudos to you. But like these things do not equate with you being more intelligent. They only equate with you being more successful. Right? And those are still within the guidelines that the man, in this case the white man, allowed. So what are we talking about? It's sad, but the reason I feel like as a Latino I need to speak, and I wanted to speak about this boycott, the reason I feel like I have to say something about this boycott is because we as Latinos do not fucking stand in solidarity with ourselves, bro. Right now, okay? I want to go, but I have Lewis here, so I don't know if he's going to let me. Right now, right? By where I live, there's an ICE detention center. There are protests. What's going on, Alucard? There are protests happening at those ICE detention centers. The majority of those people are black Americans. It is not Latinos. We have towns filled with Latinos. We are not storming the ICE detention center to protest. Why? Half of us are terrified that we are illegal, and the other half is terrified that they will be confused for an illegal. But in the end of the day, all of us are cowards. Whether it's me, because I don't want to get hit in the face, or I don't want to get permanently injured, or whether it's the rest of us because of our legal status. Regardless of the reason, the reality is that the Latino in this country is a spoiled coward because he is not willing to stand up and fight for what is his. That includes me. Let the record show that includes me. I might have to go just so that I don't have spit on my name, right? Because that's how this shit works. And a lot of people don't understand this because their culture wasn't one of resistance, right? But the black community was built on resistance. What they have is is something entirely unique to the rest of American society. And these immigrant communities that have assimilated only recently have no idea what they're in for. I'll read the rest of your comment because I hadn't before. And if we delve into this deeper, there's only certain Asian groups that propped up for whiteness. That doesn't even account for the huge sordid history between Southeast Asians and East Asians. That's a good point. That's actually a good point, right? Because it's only the Koreans, right? It's only like the Japanese don't even come here. No, not because they're brown, but just because they don't fucks with it. They have a better country than ours. But the reality being that, like, you know, it's not, how can I say, it's deplorable. It's deplorable. And it bothers me, right? Because as Latinos, we have told each other, oh, we're family. Oh, we're all together. But we need to be willing to really stand up for ourselves. Too many of us like to bend over for white America, for the white man, for the power system that exists, right? And I think to myself, right, like I'm to the point, bro. I'm woken up, bro. I'm at the point where I am in shame that I even know about the white man's religion. Why do I know about Catholicism? Why am I educated on this shit? Why do I not know anything about Pachacute? You know, why the fuck don't I know about the true gods of my land? The people who worship, the gods who the people worship in the actual lands that I come from, right? Because of these people, we're disconnected from the things that created our societies, you know? Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna read the rest of this shit. Now, imagine how ironic it is that you see Indian homies being mad racist to black people. But that's the thing, like, 100%. We're all colonized. We were all assimilated. But well, not all of us were assimilated, but we were all colonized. But the reality is that, like, Indians are now getting the benefit of it, right? They're like taking over, because the reality is, listen, I'm gonna get a little racist here. I'm gonna say it. Right, white people are not very smart. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm gonna say it. Neither Latinos, because Latinos, we have a very large portion of white men. I'm gonna blame it on that. And the rest of us, we're all native people, so it don't work out like that. We be islanders and shit. We be trying to chill. We're not smart like that. I'm sorry. Like, you know, it's just the truth. And like, they have no problem setting up like entire industries that require like heavy thinking to other races. Right? Because the average white man isn't going to be a fucking computer engineer. It's not going to happen. But if, like, look at what the fuck happens in our societies, right? In Latino society, in black society, where they don't have enough, right? Latinos will make you an entire jungle gym out of pipes and duct tape, bro. No problem at all. You know, entirely functional. You know what I mean? A black man will learn how to jerry-rig a car and have it functional long past its due date. This is all things that we've learned to do for survival, right? These motherfuckers can't even season their food right, bro. They can't. Have you seen them on the TikTok, bro? The motherfuckers can't cook their food properly, right? They live in the cleanest era. They still can't properly feed themselves. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying it's all of them, but it's like, for a community that has so many problems, the Latino community, it has its own problems with misogyny, with racism, with all these problems that we both have, right? These groups have. Asians too have their own problems they have internally. In what world are we spending on others, bro? In what world are we just gonna... I hate my Jiminy Cricket ass brothers, bro. The Latinos are disgraceful, bro, because they are so happy with getting crumbs. I had a friend... I was building a business with him, right? I was trying to get him to build his own business, right? Because his whole family works for this white man for one paycheck, bro. So all 5 of them, legal, by the way, legal American, second generation Americans, motherfucker. All 5 of these people, second generation Americans, working for $20 an hour, bro. To an illegal. Right? Because they're not intelligent. These are Puerto Ricans, but it's irrelevant. These people aren't intelligent. So they can't work it out. So I tell him, hey, I'm going to work this out so that you call the people and then you guys get the full pay. Right? So he literally says, I don't trust myself. So he goes to his MAGA voting racist boss and says, what should I do to make my own business? I'll tell you what, my brother and I built my business from the bottom up, and then he betrayed me after 35 years. So the only thing I can say is never work with family. So you're telling me your brother did free labor for you for 35 fucking years. He built your business. And then You fuck him out of pay, right? And your advice to this guy is never take assistance from family. And what did this mental pygmy do? He told him, no, I don't trust my family, bro. Even if I do succeed, bro, they're gonna take advantage of me, bro. And it's because these people, they glorify, these people, they worship Elon Musk. They worship the money. They don't understand, right? And so what ends up happening is they don't think. They are addicted to the idea of worshiping people who are better than them because there's no responsibility in that. I don't have to take responsibility for being an idiot if it just so happens that they're just smarter than me. I couldn't improve myself. I wasn't born as gifted as Elon Musk's retarded ass. Like, I deserve failure and starvation. Like this is how these people are, right? They're willing slaves. And that's the problem. Right, that's the issue. That's why the Latino community has so many people that are against black people, right? Why? Because they're happy slaves. Stop complaining about the chains. There's so much space around my neck. Why are you in pain? What do you care? I'm so happy in these chains. In my own country, the chains are like 5% tighter because I abandoned my political party for the white man. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. They're not educated on this shit, and they do this. They come here, and I'm not saying that they're all illegals. That's not the problem. It's not like that at all. These are second-generation Americans, bro. I'm the first American born in my family. That's not the problem, right? The problem is these people worship money over themselves, right? They excuse failure, right? The worst thing you can ever do for yourself is accept failure as just some part of life that's going to keep happening. Right? You need to be willing to abandon your ego and abandon your self-respect for the sake of improvement. Right? Everyone should be willing and dedicated to improving themselves at any cost. Not literally, but you have to have that mindset that I am willing to sacrifice even my own feeling of self-respect. I'm going to feel terrible, but I'm going to get better. But I'm going to get stronger. But I'm going to get faster. But I'm going to get more well-read, whatever it is. And these people don't have that in them. They don't have that dog in them. And that's the problem. But you look at the black community, it's not the same. They have to be withheld of resources, right? They're being starved of oxygen. It's completely different, right? One side cannot compete with the other because one side is being, just immediately taken out of the process. I don't know. Sorry, I went on some random rant at that point, just talking about everything. But the point being that it's like I have very little respect for the Latino community in the United States because of how they decide to otherize themselves from black people. They'll even call them slaves or ex-slaves. It's like, yo, motherfucker, what do you think being Hispanic is? Right? You're his Spanish, brother. Like the Spanish owned you. Fuck's wrong with you, bruh? Like, we're all ex-slaves. Like, what is wrong with you?
The laundromats. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians,
all your car electricians is crazy. They're shut up. There's mad Latinos doing that. Don't even fuck with me on that. The electronics,
the Sony, the TV system, your sound system.
I like how he's trying to take credit for every single Asian race too, right? It's like Asians are just this amalgamation, right? Like, it's not just Koreans in like poor areas. Right, we're just gonna pretend like it's not just Chinese and Koreans in select areas, right? You get to take Sony's accomplishments, you get to take all of this. Like, get the
microphones that you got.
You could just easily replace these devices with other devices, right? Like, you could easily just and this is what's happening right now. People are buying American now. They are buying black, and I'm not gonna be buying shit that's gonna be sorted. Now, Sony, obviously, I'm still gonna be willing to support Sony. What the fuck did Japan do to me for me to not be buying Sony? That's a little different. That's a little different. But do you think I'm gonna go to Uncle Kim's and give myself a game early? No. If Uncle Kim right now in Newark tells me, Mira, I'm gonna give you Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and I'm going to give it to you a week early. I'm going to say, no, Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim, you can keep that in the back. I don't need it. I'm sorry. And I'm going to go over and cry in my chair because I don't get to play Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
You guys used to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and hip-hop culture. What do you think that's made it? You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods. We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money?
It's crazy because he just said, right? Like he just mentioned this. Another thing, nail shops right now they're being drowned. They're being I don't want to say the word drowned. They're being starved of money, man. Like look, you know, right here, Asian nail shops boycotts, and where is this shit? Is this shit not even here? Man, YouTube is on some bullshit. I'm gonna have to look this shit up on Twitter. Nah, that's a little too much work for me. That's a little too much work for me. I feel like I've ranted enough. I don't gotta do. Listen, all I'm trying to say is we need to stay on the boycott. We need to not support white businesses that we can avoid supporting. That's gonna be a hard one. It can't just be Asians because the reality is it's not like it's only Asians that are attacking us. You know, Austin Metcalf was not Asian. You know, Donald Trump is not Asian. You know, Jeffrey Epstein is not Asian. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, let me think of it. Ted Cruz is not Asian. You know, Marco Rubio is not Asian. You know, just boycotting Asian isn't enough. What we need to do is build within our own community for a greater purpose. That goes for Latinos, Black. It doesn't matter. Right? If you're in, you're in. The only reason why I like the term black specifically is because it was already made to otherize a group of people, right? There are already people black, and whether or not you consider yourself black, they're still going to arrest you with them. So you might as well see kinship within that title. But motherfuckers can't just start calling themselves black because people will start using the N-word like it's like, you know, ketchup. That wouldn't work. That would not work. That would become a problem very fast. You let motherfuckers call themselves black, it would become a crime very fast. Okay, I'm going to just close this stream now so that I can put this on YouTube, even though it was very misguided and confusing, because I might as well. And then I'm going to start this back up as an Apex stream. All right, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Actually, should I start it over? Yeah, I should, so I can separate it easily. I'll be right back.